Hi, Soul Family. I've got a few things I want to talk to you about, and I was all fired up this morning about it, and then I got kind of sidetracked with my animals, and it must all kind of come together in some way. It does. So what we've got is we've been talking a lot about how the divine feminine is rising up and claiming her power, right? She's standing and setting boundaries, and she's speaking up for herself, and she's no longer putting up with toxic behavior, codependent relationships, disrespect, dishonorable behavior. And my friend Patrick posted a comment on Instagram I told you about, and he said, with all of the people coaching these women and helping empower women, who's there to teach the men how to handle these newly empowered women? And my response instantly was, well, you got to do the inner work too. But it was said for a reason. Everything comes for a reason, right? This universe is our Father, our angels, our guides. They're constantly trying to communicate to us 24/7. Whether we pick up on it or not is a different subject. So I got chia seeds in my teeth. I've had my cat Lily that ended up, she was very ill, and I made her holistic food, and she went into remission for a couple of years, and then she died, and it was extremely grueling and horrible what happened to her. And then I adopted two other extremely traumatized senior cats who also have health conditions that I wasn't aware of. I knew that they had to get their dental work done, right? They had bad teeth that needed to be cleaned, which is extremely expensive. And so as I'm saving up, and I've got an appointment for Willow next week, she's going, and other things started occurring. And one of them was Liger. His skin started itching, and he was scratching like crazy. He doesn't have fleas. None of my cats have fleas. I live upstairs. They don't go outside into the grass. There are no fleas in here. But he was scratching, and it was twitching. It was driving him crazy. And I think I spoke about it yesterday, how, or maybe I didn't. I've tried everything. Is it an allergy? We tried completely changed his food. No, it's not an allergy. While that was going on, he's scratching, and he's got these sores, and they were like oozing, open sores on his skin. And he's my baby. I've had him since he was 3 weeks old, right? And he's 15. And then I've got Siam, who's having like asthma attacks. To me, I call them snorkel attacks. He would be like, and I thought, what is he doing? And he couldn't stop it, right? And I used to try and calm him. And I thought, what is going on? And then Willow is losing weight, rapidly losing weight. And I was holistically trying to figure out, I'm changing cat foods, and I'm recognizing, Willow will eat the Lily's paste, which is a low protein. So Lily showed me that for a cat that had diabetes or hypothyroidism, you need low protein, right? And so Lily wouldn't eat any of the cat foods, and the only thing she would eat would be that paste, which is chicken meal. It's not chicken meal, it's chicken, beef, egg. It's fresh, right? And I'll show it to you. So this is the food that Lily would eat. It's called Vital Fresh Pet, grain-free, right? Now, cats are allergic to soy, they're allergic to wheat, they're allergic to corn. Liger was having allergies. If you're going to have an allergy from something, not all cats have a problem with it, but many do. All the cat treats have those products in them, right? So I'm thinking I'm giving my cats healthy cat treats, and I'm giving them greenies, right? Wrong. They have two of the ingredients right there, first and second listed. So this is chicken, beef, chicken liver, and egg, zero grains, zero potato, okay? It's literally, it's like buying chicken for them, but they can't have just chicken. So they would eat it, they loved it, they thought they were going to town, and oh my gosh, it's like going to McDonald's for a cat, right? But then after a while, cats are like, I'm a cat. And I gotta tell you, after a while, we get bored. I don't want it, I don't want the same flavor. So I would alternate. One day it would be tuna fish, one day it would be this. And it's expensive cats are my kids, right? And they're also showing me something. So I did some research, and why is my cat, why is Siam doing what he's doing? Siam has heartworms. There is no cure for heartworms. There is no medicine that works on heartworms for a cat. Cats are different than dogs. If you give the cat what you give the dog, it'll kill the cat. So these are all symbolic and spiritual messages to me as well. I'm a cat, right? And remember the song, wait till you're announced. Spirit says to me, wait till you're announced. We've got something up our sleeve. Wait till you're announced. We've got something up our sleeves. The next line for me was, all the dogs are going to stay in chains, right? Everyone's competing for a love they won't receive, because what this palace wants is release, which is surrender or release. But what are you doing when you're releasing? You're eliminating it, right? You're getting rid of it. You're getting out. So I've got all these thoughts going in my head because it's all together. So my girlfriend says, I'm going to regress, I'm going to pop back. My girlfriend, she's holistic as well, and I called her and I said, you know, her stepson is an animal communicator, and I said, can you talk to Shane and see, because sometimes I might be a little too close. Can you talk to Shane and see what he picks up? And I was telling her what's going on, and she said, she sent me back information that this is something that's going to kill him. He needs to get to the vet right away. And I mean, that's what everybody says, right? You've got to put them on anti-inflammatories, and they can't give them. Really, there's really no medication to kill the heartworm. Why did I bring Kirsten up? There was a reason. Shoot, I'm tired. See, I wish I'd done this earlier today, but there's a reason why I was delayed too. Anyway, I've got all these things coming at me. Oh, I know, that's why. She said to me, I said, Willow's got this problem, Liger's got this problem, Siam has this problem, Lily had that problem. And she goes, wow. She goes, why are all these animals, why are all your animals not doing well? And she says, the only thing that makes sense to me, and it's interesting because somebody else said this to me too, is you're a healer. And they come to you at the end of their life because they know they're going to be loved and cared for, so that you could exit them out, and, you know, as kindly and gently and comfortably as possible. And I call bullshit on that. I said, I'm not here for that. I'm not here. My heart can't handle that. And I thought to myself, sometimes, you know, there's people that go to animal shelters to hold dying animals. There are people that go to hospitals to hold dying children until they die. And I can't do that. My heart would just freaking rip to shreds. I'm way too empathic for that. That's not the right reason. That can't be the reason. You're not bringing these animals into my life one by one so they can die on me. I'm supposed to do something about this because I'm a freaking healer, right? I did Reiki on Lily. That's how she went into remission for 2 years. But there's something else. So what else did I do? I created food in my house. I got natural remedies, and this morning I got a message, and it was, for every ailment, there's a plant that has a cure. So I'm not into Western medicine. I don't believe in Western medicine. I don't take it myself, and I don't want to pump my animals full of drugs any more than I would myself. So I was thinking about all these things. My friend Blaine, he's in the hospital, or he's dealing with the brain tumor, right? And there's water, it's swelling, and they need to relieve it. They need to drain it. Now remember the drain, right? They need to express that. They need to get it out. So I'm thinking about my animals, and I told you guys that I use that silver solution. I should have had it all in front of me. Where's the silver soul? Okay, so this is the silver solution, immune system support, silver supplement, doctor recommended. There are, I wrote about this because it's not colloidal silver. There's a difference between this and colloidal silver. This is different. It has special patents. This does not attack, there's studies that they have published that the silver solution does not harm the good bacteria, because colloidal silver kills bacteria, which means it kills the positive and the negative, and you're left with nothing in your immune system working for you, right? This doesn't. This is they've got 20,000 pages of scientific documentation to back it up, right? So you can take this and probiotics at the same time, and they work. So silver solution, I've always talked about how silver is used, like the ancient Egyptians used silver to purify water. What is water? It's signifying in symbolic terms. It's emotion, right? if you need, and the silver solution doesn't work. They've tried to freeze dry it so that they could have maybe like a powder form, but it doesn't have the potency. It needs to be in a soluble state. So you think about, if it represents emotions, it needs to be in a soluble state. It needs to be, and I always think about, I mean, emotion is love, right? Loving expression. If you have emotion and it's soluble, it's liquid form. Remember how Spirit said when the great wave comes, go to the mountain with the tablets. Tablets are waterfalls, running waterfalls. So it needs to be expression, needs to be spoken, it needs to be love, needs to be expressed. Okay? So I'm thinking, why are all these animals in my house sick, and I can't do anything about this? My little guy, what they do is it starts collecting fluid in their belly, and the heartworms are in their heart, and they have to be killed off. Now, cats are stronger than dogs at killing them off. They've medicine for the dogs, but not for the cats. The medicine for the dogs is fatal for the cats. The dogs that are going to stay and change, they're the ones that are not they're awake. They're not awake. They're asleep. Right? Everyone's competing for a love they won't receive. The dogs are going to stay and change. So the dogs are represented as what is in the negative. The cat is representative in the positive. The dogs are going to be held back. So it's just what it is, which is interesting because, I won't even go there. I was going to it would just confuse things. So we've now got you need to express emotion daily. You need to express emotion. I talked about the plants that my landlord had, and I said, gosh, I've got these plants on my patio, and when there's a lot of wind or when there's a lot of sun, I mean, I could just water them yesterday and they're already dried out. And I said to him, you're killing your pansies, right? And he says, well, I just watered them the other day. And what was the message? You got to give them a little bit every single day. You've got to give, and we need that too. If we don't have an expression of emotion and love coming to us every single day, we're going to die. We need it. Babies will die without love. A relationship dies without expression of love. You can love somebody in your heart. I love you more than life itself. But if you don't express that, how do I know that? Right? You need to express that. And about my friend Blaine, that came to me about that. Every physical problem, there's an emotional root cause. The doctors are always trying to treat the symptom. They're not treating the problem. So I called Blaine and I said, there's something that you need to do. I said, the doctors are trying to express, they're trying to release the fluid, right? That's what they need to do, because if without that, it's compressing, it's so tight on your brain, it could kill him, right? There is something inside of you that needs to be expressed. There's something that you have not said, that you've held inside, that needs to come out, even if the people aren't there. I did it with my stepfather, right? It wasn't okay that you hit me. I don't care. It wasn't okay to ever hit me. You never had the right to do that. I was a little girl. I did nothing wrong. It wasn't my fault. You were wrong to do that. But in my whole life, I had repressed that because I didn't blame him, because I understood what was happening. I know what my mom did, and I know what he was feeling. And that's what we do throughout our life, right? We make excuses for everybody. And the point is, I was being forgiving. I was being understanding. I was being compassionate. That's perfect. That's fine. But it doesn't take away from how it felt to you. I could say to my twin, it wasn't okay that you ghosted me. It wasn't okay that you just disappeared on me. That wasn't okay to me. It wasn't okay that you didn't answer me. It wasn't okay that you let me worry about you. It wasn't okay. I was dying every single day. It wasn't okay. Now, on his side, God knows that he was going through horrible things. He had all kinds of stuff. Maybe who knows what was going on in his life. They're completely separate. It doesn't matter what was happening in his life. It still wasn't okay for me. It wasn't okay that I had to go through that. So we need to express that. We need to get that out, because what do? We stuff it, right? We stuff it. Well, that happened because, they're in that place, and I understand that. And yet what are you doing? You're ignoring your own needs, right? I'm hurting. I've been crying for 5.5 years. For 5 years straight, I thought you were dead or being tortured. I had no idea because of the things that I was watching. And nobody put me out of my misery. It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask you to do that. No, I just accidentally fell in love with you and I did it myself. But it doesn't matter. It's not okay. It's not okay. So I don't have to say it to him. And it's not his fault. But it's my fault if I stuff it. So I need to express it. So I gave Blaine that, and I said, and he says, I know what it is. I know what the root cause is. And I said, then get it out. Say it, get it out, because while the doctors are treating the symptoms, you have a problem inside that you've been stuffing all this time, and your body is trying to tell you what's wrong. I get headaches. I can't sleep at night. It may go way back. It may go way back to childhood. It could be that you were shamed about something and you've been carrying it this whole time, right? Who knows what it is? So there's that expression. And then I go back to I'm thinking symbolic terms, and I'm thinking this is coming to me because I'm a spiritual teacher, right? But I also have animals that are hurting. My animals are here to show me things. I said that before. Liger's got a problem. There's something under his skin. Liger is me. There was something under my skin. It was under my skin. I couldn't get it out, right? So I needed to get it out. And Spirit will tell us all the time, what is it that you haven't said to somebody that you need to say? Express your truth, and people are afraid to speak their truth. Well, then you don't have to go stand in front of them and say it. You can say it out loud in your room. Just get it out. You need to express it. However, if you love somebody and you're afraid to express it to them, and they never know that, it can kill your relationship. It will kill the love. It's killing them inside. It's killing you inside. You're hurting yourself and you're hurting them because you're afraid to express your truth. Now, I'm going to go totally to, I have to wait. I wonder if I should write this down so that I could keep track. Relationships. Men and women fear about expressing truth. Okay, so now back to my cats. I told you guys, what do I drink every single day? Water with lemon juice and the rind, right? Apple cider vinegar with the mother. Chia seeds every single day. Apple cider vinegar kills everything bad. It's a cure for cancer. It kills viruses. It kills everything that you can think of. Look it up, all the things that apple cider vinegar does, right? My cats, two of them have worms in their bodies. One has a heartworm. One had worms in her stomach. And I'm thinking, and I'm looking at Liger, and he's so heavy, and I'm thinking Buddha belly, right? Remember I said to you, the one thing I'm uncomfortable about is that I've got a little bit of, I got cellulite on the back of my legs, and it embarrasses me. Why is it there? I don't like that. Because I know that cellulite is little pockets of anger. I don't want to hold on to that. I need to release that. Well, there's something that I haven't said. There's something that hasn't been expressed in some way. It doesn't mean it's anyone's fault. It doesn't mean that I expect anything from anyone else. It just means that I've been holding on to it, and it's not mine to carry. And in all reality, this that I'm carrying on may not even be mine. It may be that I'm trying to tell somebody this, and I am connected to somebody, and I'm carrying it for them. Okay? I'm being shown these things to help people. So for my animals, I thought my cats love tuna fish, right? They love the water. They don't like the fish. They love the water. The water. It all keeps coming back to the water. They want the juice. They don't want the oil. They want the water. They like it tuna flavored. So I would alternate days, tuna fish, the chicken food, tuna fish, the chicken food, right? Back and forth. So what I did was I got the silver solution, and now there's this product, this company has another product. It's wound gel. And it's for minor cuts, lacerations, abrasions, second-degree burns. My landlord had they didn't think he would ever get rid of the scarring. Totally got rid of the scarring in 2 weeks. They use it now in surgeries. I wish I'd had it. It stops staph infection because it kills all bacteria. Because why? Because it's got this silver solution in it. So it's in a gel form. And I asked, what's the difference between the silver solution and the silver gel? This is the carrier, but the silver solution in this is stronger than in this. So I thought, okay, well, this liquid, so what do? I'm making my own cat treat. I squeezed the gel, tuna fish water, and probiotics, and I mixed it all up in a dish, and I fed it to my cats. They went through it like they were going out, they went nuts. They dove into it. First, and then I made them their chicken dinner, right, their paste, and I mixed, again, the silver gel in it, and the Theralac in it, and I mixed it all in, and they devoured it. Now, what's that going to do for Siam? It's getting that silver solution in his body so that it can fight off those parasites that are in the body, because the cat's body can fight it off. It's difficult if it gets too far. My girlfriend said it looks as though, because he's been having those asthmatic attacks, right? Even if they've had the heartworms, and they've gotten rid of them, they will still suffer. They will forever have problem with their lungs. So it's like somebody, and I'm thinking now in symbolic terms, my cat represents somebody to me. There's a heartworm. Now that came up this morning. I put that message up about plants, about every plant has, every illness, there's a plant in which there's a cure for it, right? And my friend Tracy said the wormwood is turning out to be a source of cancer cure. There's so many cancer cures. This cures cancer. They just won't, if they let the FDA get a hold of it, they'll shut it down because they don't want that out there. Big Pharma doesn't want cures, right? That's why we're doing this holistic. So when I looked at that, I thought, interesting. I went to Sedona and I needed to sage, but I didn't have any. So I went looking for incense and I went to this thrift store, and it was a Humane Society thrift store. And in the Humane Society, so Spirit guided me over to this corner. It was done by Spirit. And there was this package, really weird looking, just a little paper package. And I needed to open it up. I opened it up and it was called African Wormwood Incense. And I thought, I looked at it and it just looked like dried sticks. It looked like yuck. And I thought, this is probably gonna stink. Think about it. This is probably gonna stink. I burned it and it was the most amazing smell ever. And when she said the wormwood, I thought about that. Something that you think is gonna stink, but it's not. Something is different than you think. It's not gonna be what you think. It's going to be the opposite of what you think. So the wormwood, I was talking about, my old landlord out there wants, I'm supposed to call him. He wants to give me my old suite back, right? That's what I'm asking for. He keeps trying to give me this other house that's in Montezuma. And I've never even looked at it. I've never even considered it. I haven't considered it because I think it stinks. I don't want to be in Montezuma. I want to be in Sedona. It's 35 minutes away from Sedona, right? So I won't even talk about it. But he keeps bringing it up. Why does Spirit keep bringing me these sick animals? Because I'm living in the house of a man who is the representative, the distributor of this that will save my animals and myself, and show me that in a spiritual way, this is what needs to happen. You need to express your emotions, and love needs to be expressed every single day, a little bit every single day. We all need it or we're gonna die. As I teach this to other people, I've got couples that are coming to me. I've got couples readings, right? And the man is being accused of cheating on his wife, or the man is not treating me with respect. He's being mean to me. And the husband's saying, she's constantly telling me that I'm cheating, and I'm not. I've been married to her 35 years. I love her. But do you tell her that? Do you tell her that? Do you express that to her? Because when you turn your head and look at other women, or have pictures in your phone of other women, or have videos of other women, that doesn't show your wife that you love her. Right? That's not an expression of love. That instills fear. So she's angry, and then she believes that you're going to cheat on her. Because she's on top of you, you shut down and you stop speaking to her, you stop expressing. And then when you could clear something up, you're afraid to tell her, because if you tell her the truth, you don't think she's going to believe you. And what's the point anyway? So you keep it inside. So both of you are having a problem because you're not expressing your truth. You're not expressing it in a loving way. And there's that. So then I'm thinking about this, about every time I speak to my landlord out there about the place, he goes, well, I have the place in Montezuma, I would offer it to you, but you don't want to look at it. And I'm looking at the wormwood, and as I'm talking to my landlord, I'm standing outside, and he's got this beautiful succulent. It's gorgeous, hot pink flowers. It's very, very tall. Next to it is a bottle brush, okay? As soon as I heard bottle brush, I thought about Moses. I thought about in the wilderness, there's a bottle brush tree. Who sat under the bottle brush tree? Who sat under the bottle brush tree in the Bible? This is how my Jehovah's Witness background was not wasted. Elijah. Oh my God, do you know who Elijah was? Oh my God. Elijah. Who was Elijah? Who was, I think Elijah is Archangel Metatron. He is a miracle worker. He's a miracle worker who lived in Israel. I knew who that represented. I knew who that represented. Oh, I knew who that represented. It represents my spiritual twin, okay? This is amazing. I didn't know when I got this before. But I'm pretty sure Elijah was the prophet. Nothing is known of his family. He suddenly appears to challenge Ahab, an evil king. He was the boldest of God's prophets. When he prayed, the rain fell on Israel. Jezebel, the wicked queen, was jealous and angry. There's so many messages in this for me. Oh my God. So she swore to kill him. So he ran into the wilderness. He sat under a broom tree. In his despair, asked God to take his life. The greatest miracle. My whole body's covered in chills right now. Oh my gosh. Mount Carmel. Who was Elijah? I just need to see. Was Elijah an ascended master? Was Elijah an ascended master? Elijah. Yes, he's an ascended master. I knew it. Oh! Oh! Okay. As I'm standing there talking to my landlord, he's got this plant next to him. It's beautiful, hothouse flower with hot pink flowers on the end of it, right? And they're long stems. And next to it is the bottlebrush tree. As soon as I said the bottlebrush tree, I saw my twin. So the ascended master. And I said, he says, look how beautiful that one is growing, right? And I said that I was talking about the wormwood. And I said it would be like if you cut those flowers down, right? And you took the stalk and you cut it in, and that was the incense. That's what the wormwood looks like. And he said, look at how well this is growing. And I said, and he pointed to the bottlebrush tree. And I said, yeah. And he says, the neighbor's got the same tree and it has no flowers on it. And I said, well, it depends on what it's planted next to, which is energetic, right? I don't do well in this company. If I'm together with this one, I grow flowers, I'm brilliant, I'm beautiful, right? So I'm getting a million messages as they're all moving together. Everything is interconnected. So I thought to myself, truthful, my landlord, which is God, my landlord says to me, the Lord of the land, right? No doubt, says to me, when your spiritual twin is taken away or removes himself from his triggers, the root cause of why this is happening, he will be 98% cured. Because he's planted next to something that is toxic. If he was planted next to me, and they said if he is in your energy, in nature, he would be 98% cured of whatever it is the problem is, whatever the problem is, right? I don't know what it is. Because my energy is different, right? So you look at that bottlebrush tree, it was planted down there next to that beautiful succulent that looked like the wormwood, right? And it's thriving, it's growing, and it's thriving, and it's happy. So if we're in the wrong environment, we're not going to thrive, we're not going to be happy. That's that message. So as soon as I heard wormwood, we started talking about the wormwood, I started thinking about Siam. I just had it in my head that if the plant does well next to that one, they're heart connected. They're heart connected. Wormwood. And I just kept doing that. And I said, he's got heartworms. He has heartworms. So then the person in my life has heartworms. He's not doing well there. It's killing the love in him. It's killing his heart. It's killing his soul. Whatever's going on, there's not love. It's not compatible. It's toxic. And it's killing his soul, his heart, the love within him, right? My baby, my Siam, has heartworms. That will kill him, slowly kill him. It's not going to kill him instantly, but it will slowly kill him. He will have fits, which if you're in a place where it's toxic, you'll have fits, you'll be angry, right? Because your temper will flare. He throws up sometimes because of it, and you would say throwing up, you would say inappropriate things. What else does he do? He's got a belly. He's got a belly on him, and it's really strange. I said, it's interesting, he's got this Buddha belly. Well, what do I call my twin? I call him my happy Buddha. And I'm the laughing Buddha. So all of it's mixing together, and I'm thinking that's my I already know that's a symbol of my twin, a symbolic messenger for my twin. And so he has heartworms symbolically, and he needs to have love expressed to him every single day, a little bit every day. But he also needs to express something. There's something inside of him that he can't get out. He needs to get that out. He needs to express something inside of him because it's slowly killing him, right? That's for everyone. I'm just using this as an example, but it's for all of us, right? So then, what else do I have? This silver solution The ancient Egypts used to put silver in the water. Silver purifies your water. Silver, as far as spiritual, I can't get over this whole thing about, because I know who Jezebel is, the wicked queen that wanted him killed, so he ran. And I understand my message, right? And he was in so much pain that he asked God, just take my life, just kill me. There's no point, just kill me, right? I heard in my dreams my brother killed himself. Well, it's symbolic, right? And then Elijah, he ascended. And we don't have to die in this life to be reborn, is our message. You can die in this life and be reborn as you awaken. It's a reawakening. When he died, he didn't die. That old way of his life died. And he is now going to be resurrected in a new form. When he's away from that wicked queen, that Jezebel, who wanted to see him die, who was killing a part of him, right? So, now, what was that? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back. I love that he's an ascended master, because that's who I work with, is the ascended masters. And that's my guy, Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is the one who works with those who have issues, right? Us. The ones who have attention deficit disorder, the ones who have autism, the ones who this world terms as weird or difficult or special needs. And when I spoke the other day, I'll talk about this in a second. Hold on. Where was I going in here? I was going to say, silver. What does silver mean in spiritual meaning? I already know. I mean, it's about purifying your thoughts, right? The color silver. It means the truth. Speaking the truth. Silver means the truth. Every single day, we need to speak the truth. We need to express ourselves in a loving way, but we need to speak the truth, right? That's what's going to heal my baby. That's what's going to heal my love. That's what's going to heal this entire planet, is love. That's how I said, my landlord keeps going on about it like he's thinking about money, making a business, and we're going to make money at this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's great, and that's going to heal my cats, which was the first thing, because I'm not going to go to a vet. If I was in the jungle, I wouldn't have a vet. I would have to do what I did as an Indian medicine woman in my past lives. I've seen myself. I've always been a medicine woman, always been a healer. I've always made my own tinctures. I've always done that. My grandmother did too. It's my gift, right? I'm also a Reiki master. I'm a healer. So, but I have to also make sure that the words that I use are healing, right? Because I know, and that's why I said, with the husband and the wife thing, right? Sometimes somebody makes us very angry and we say something, it comes out. That's how we felt. It was the truth about what I felt. But how that other person took it or how it affected that other person is a different story. So it's about speaking in a loving way. But you know what? Sometimes shit happens, right? I that's how I felt. I don't take back what I said. Maybe it's the way I said it, or maybe it's the way that you're taking it. But we always have to be aware, right? And the only way that we can be aware is if we express it. I can't read your mind. I said yesterday, if I've hurt your feelings, tell me. I don't know. I don't know what works if you don't tell me. It's like a lover, right? A really good lover will say, tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Because a lover wants to please you, right? I don't want to do things, if you're a narcissist asshole and you're only thinking about yourself, you won't care about what they feel. You just do what feels good to you. But if you love that person, you want to know what makes them happy, what pleases them. Right? Well, you can't know that if they can't tell you. And they can't tell you if they don't trust you. And they have to learn to trust. Why aren't they trusting? What was it in the past that is inside of you that you haven't expressed that needs to come out so you can release that so that it can heal? When twin souls connect, oh my God. Can you hear it? Mirrors. I just said twins, right? If regret makes it hard to find, no, I'm on the other side. Put your hand on the glass. I'm trying to pull you through, right? There's no place we couldn't go. Put your hand on the glass. Trying to pull you through. You got to be strong. I don't want to lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. I'm looking at my mirror, right? We have so many mirrors in the world. I have clients that come to me, and I swear to God, as it first started, I got to turn it down. Show me how to fight for now. I'm showing you how. I'm showing you how. This is how we fight. This is how you fight for marriage. This is how you fight for relationship. This is how you fight for this world. You fight. Spirit said we don't fight like this. We don't fight with nasty words. We fight with love. We push our love out. We have to express that. We have to get it out there, right? My job is to speak. Look at me, thinking I had no idea. When I started this, I thought I should have done it this morning. I'm not going to remember anything, and my words won't come. Clearly, Spirit is just working with me, right? It's just whoosh, it's out. So I'm an Aries. I'm an aggressive person, but I'm a very emotional person at the same time. I told you I'm using myself as an example because I have to. My spiritual twin, he is a gentle person. He's a super sensitive person. He doesn't talk a lot. He keeps a lot inside, right? There's a lot that he is not able to express or that he hasn't chosen to express. It's in. My mother, I told you, my mother was like that. She was a Cancer crab. She had a hard shell, but very soft inside. But she put out this tough exterior. She was like clawing and ripping and shredding because she's trying to defend herself. She doesn't want to be hurt. And yet, if she had expressed how she felt to my father is actually very loving. And if he had understood, it would have been a completely different story. But when you are raised in a house where you've been sexually abused and where you've been put down and where you've been hurt, you grow up tough, right? I had to grow up strong. I grew up with two women from the same background, and it happened to me too. And I didn't have anyone doing anything for me. I had to do it on my own. So I came into the world scrapping, and I'm a scrapper. So I've got to learn how to work through these issues, and instead of fighting in that way, I got to fight in a different way. So if I could tell you how many people have been writing to me and calling me and doing readings with the exact same story. It's like they took notes. Every story is exactly the same. Every story. And the message is what I just said about the husband and the wife, about the boyfriend and the girlfriend. It's about the empath and the narcissist. And yet, is it really? Is it really that? Somebody can exhibit narcissistic tendencies, right? And they're going to be, that kind of a person is drawn to an empath. Why do you think they're drawn to an empath? Because this is somebody that is not able to express their love. They don't know how to work with unconditional love. They haven't been unconditionally loved. They had to stuff everything inside. When they spoke, they were told to shut up. Their opinion was not wanted, or no one wanted to hear it, right? They were told, don't cry. They were told, men don't cry. Men don't do that. Why, you fag? You don't act that way. What's wrong with you, you weirdo? You weren't to express your feelings. You had to wear a tough exterior. You had to be a crab, like my mom, right? You had to do that to protect yourself. You grew up that way. I'm not good, because when I expressed myself, when I showed the truth of who I was, and I allowed you to see who I was, you snapped at me, or you jumped at me, just like it happened before. I'm not going to do that again. I told you what happened between my twin and I. We had a beautiful day. It was amazing. We were it was love. It was total love. It was bliss. It was beautiful. And then something happened. And he said something. And what he said shocked me. I mean, it shocked me. And I pushed him away from me. I said, we're done. We're done. And his face was like, and I thought, how could you say that to me? But I didn't say that. Came back in and he said to me, did I hurt you? And I said, no. I thought he meant something different. I didn't express it properly. He wasn't wrong in what he said. He didn't mean what I thought he meant. And it doesn't even matter anyway. Clearly that was a huge button that got pushed, right? I'm not a hooker. Don't talk to me that way. What? Who said you were a hooker, right? You know, and you're like, okay, I was trying to express what I was feeling, what I wanted, but when I said that, that's what you did. I'll never express myself to you again, right? Gone, shut down, out of there, or whatever it is. The man who had a picture saved on his computer. Why is that picture saved on your computer? Well, it was a woman that. Well, I don't know. The answer was, I don't know. I don't know how it got there. You didn't save it? I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. What do you mean you don't want to talk about it? There's a woman's picture on our computer. I didn't save it. What's it doing there? Did you save it there? No. You're lying. Yes, he's lying. Why is he lying? Because the last time he tried to explain something, it wasn't believed. And it ended up in a complete war. And he's trying to avoid that, so he's just trying to push it away, right? There's reasons why stuff happens. I told you with my friend Tony, right? He got really hurt. He was shocked that I said what I said to him. And it hurt him. And he didn't tell me. I had no idea. And I had to keep saying, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? And finally he snapped and he told me, and I said, you know what? Why didn't you just tell me? Why didn't you say that? And in his mind, he's like, because it made him angry. It made him angry. And it's like, you're not my friend. Fuck you. I don't need to explain anything to you. Fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. And then I said, okay, well, you know me. You should have known me better than that. And he's thinking, yeah, and you know me. You should have known me better than that too. Which is the truth, right? Miscommunication. So it's a big problem right now. It's a big problem right now because it's coming to me with every single client that I have. Every single client. It all has to do with silver. It has to do with speaking your truth. It has to do with getting it out. Even if you think that they're not going to believe you. Even if you think they're not, that it's going to, if you're speaking your truth, it's not going to hurt somebody. You have to speak your truth, right? I heard yesterday I got from Spirit, it was just easier to lie to you than to explain it. So I lied. I didn't want to get into a whole big thing. So it was just easier to lie. I wasn't ready. I was afraid. I wasn't ready. I changed my mind. I'm not interested in you. I don't feel about you that way. I'm gay. And I have been pushing it away and hiding it my whole life. And I recognize that this is not what I want. And yet I know that's going to hurt you. So I just pushed you away. I ghosted you. Or I lied to you. I told you something else. Whatever the reason is, it's because someone's afraid of speaking their truth, right? Well, now everyone's hurting. Everyone's hurting. And all you need to do is speak your truth. You can speak your truth and express yourself, and it can get out and it can be settled. It doesn't mean you're going to go back together with that person. Doesn't mean you're going to fix it, but at least it's released so you're not carrying it, right? Fear expressed, men. I know, I talked about this yesterday. Listen to me. When you get angry, remember I said, my spiritual twin said to me, what will you do if you get mad at me? If I make you mad, what will you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I clean usually or go for a walk, but if you make me mad, here's the deal. I'm a very honest person. I am very honest. I wear my heart on my sleeve. What you see is what you get. I don't have any plans back here. I don't have a hidden agenda. It's right up front, okay? But you may be somebody who was raised in a different environment. You may be somebody who has never expressed themselves, who is not comfortable with expressing their feelings, don't know how, have never had somebody like you in their life, or they did have somebody that seemed like you, and that person was really abusive. That person attacked them. That person would beat them over the head and never let them forget what they made a mistake. I admitted that. I chose wrong. It was a poor choice, and I did that. And then for the rest of the relationship, they're remember you did this and you did that, constantly bringing it up. I don't do that. I don't do that. But you've had nothing but that experience, right? Why would I go there with you? Why would I tell you that? Why would I even want to deal with that? Now, what's interesting about couples is opposites attract. Right? In the Oracle of Shadows and Light, what was the message? Strange Valentine, right? Don't let the differences between you push you apart, because that's actually what's drawing you together. Because you're fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. This part doesn't have that, this part has that. It goes together. It doesn't mean this is lacking, it doesn't mean that is lacking. It just means together it becomes whole, right? So what you have in you, I need. What I have, what you have, and what you have in you, they need. Right? So with me, I've always been drawn to shy guys. I've always been drawn to people that are more sensitive, right? I've got a strong energy, but I've got that inside of me. My Pisces moon is very strong. I've got that inside of me. And if you couldn't tap into that with me, if you can't understand that, if you're not somebody who understands emotion like that, you're not going to do well with me, because I might look like it doesn't matter, like I can handle it all on my own, and I don't need a hug, and I don't need you to do, but I do. I need love. I need you to treat me sensitively, because I told you when I went to we went to counseling with that abusive ex, and the person I was covered in bruises, and the person said, and the response from him was, well, she bruises like a peach, and the response was, if she bruises like a peach, then you need to treat her like a peach. She may look like she's a tough little ball, but she's very sensitive. And you're all thinking about your own stuff, not realizing she's got her own stuff, right? I'm also thinking about my stuff, not thinking about the fact that he was, and I as an adult, we're good. He came to me 10 years after we divorced and asked forgiveness. And then years later at my daughter's wedding, we spoke outside and I gave him a hug and I said, it's nice to see you. And he says, you know, it's really nice that we can talk this way, because that man was raised by a very abusive father. His father used to fight with the mother. The mother would be, she wouldn't listen to anything. She was Italian. She was screaming and yelling all the time. And he was German, both aggressive energies, right? She would go out at 5 o'clock in the morning just to piss him off, to mow the lawn. 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's a hard worker, right? And he's sleeping. And so the twins are in my, isn't that interesting? My ex is a twin and he's a Gemini. Wow. So, and I'm a Gemini rising. So they're sleeping. And here comes their dad into their bedroom, opens up the bedroom window and starts throwing their furniture, dressers, nightstands, out the window at her. He grew up with that stuff. And when I married into that family, I witnessed that stuff. He didn't like me at all, that man, not at all. And yet he was raised by that man, and that man was his hero. That was his dad. Even though it was abusive, he was raised that way. And that was his dad. He was always told his mother was crazy. No, his mother wasn't crazy. His father was abusive. She drove him crazy, right? Needle, needle, needle. Now there you go. She drove him crazy. So it was both of them. But in the family with children, it's always like one or the other. Like my daughter has now chosen to believe that her dad is like, you know, he's a saint. I raised my kids. He took off, was living with someone else that had 3 kids, and he was supposed to pay child support and alimony, and he wasn't seeing his kids. They were missing him. And I said, you don't have to pay me alimony. I don't even want your money for me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you don't pay, if I give you that off, will you see the kids once a week? We need to write that down. So I literally gave it to him. He didn't have to pay that huge sum of alimony to me if he would see his kids. My daughter doesn't understand that, doesn't know that, doesn't believe that. She believes what her dad told her, right? Because we all want to make ourselves feel better. I know the stuff that I did too. I've got stuff too. I wanted to get away. What do you do when you're mad? I want to get away. I want you to leave me alone. I want you to leave me alone. Well, what happened with my twin? He disappeared. He got angry. He took off. Why? He was mad. What happened to Elijah? Somebody, accused him of something, right? He took off. Sometimes people take off for anger. Sometimes they take off for fear. Well, when you make me angry, I'm either going to start killing. If nobody's in the house, I'll clean or I'll go for a walk. But if you're in the same house, I don't want to be in your energy. Immediately, what happens to me is I need to leave that energy. I have to get away from that energy, that aggressive energy. So I want to leave the house, right? He didn't want anyone to know what was happening in the house because he was going to be embarrassed if people knew that we had a problem. He didn't want to be shamed. His thing was shame, right? Didn't want to be embarrassed because he was so worried about what everyone else thought, what his parents thought. And every time I would try and leave the house, he would stop me. He was so terrified that everyone would find out that his fear took over, and he would grab me and throw me back into the house, like physically throw me back into the house. So I'm not about to let anybody do that to me. So I'm fighting. I'm covered in bruises. You let me go. Let me go. Him trying to stop me from leaving, and it ends up being physical, right? Just let me go. Just let me go. That's what I need. Now there's people that are somebody in my life is constantly disappearing. You're always leaving. Where are you going? You're always taking off, because sometimes people need that private space. There are certain people that need to go away. They can't be around anyone. I need to go away. I need to process. I need to get away from everyone's energy, because I'm an empath and I've got empathic overload. I need to get away. We all hear that, right? We just need to get away. I need to get away, right? I'm supposed to go away because I've had a lot of issues here with work, clients, that it's just too much, right? Drama, too much energy. After a while, I need to cleanse my energy. I need to go to Sedona and clear, right? So I'm going in a week, right? And I might be taking the new place. So there are reasons why we each do what we do. It doesn't make you wrong and me right. It doesn't make you right and me wrong. So in my life, I just wanted to be let go. Just let me go. And you won't let me go. You're beating me up, right? No, I don't like you. No, I think you're abusive. I'm not hitting you, but I will. But remember what I told you? He couldn't express himself. He had a very hard time getting words out. When he would get angry, English wouldn't even come out. And I don't mean he spoke German or Italian. He didn't even speak words. It was just gibberish. And I was very articulate. So that frustrated him, right? Because that was my only defense. And that's another message. My mother's tongue, her viper tongue, and my tongue, that was the way I could defend myself. It's the only way I could defend myself. I couldn't defend myself against a guy who was bigger than me, stronger than me, but I could verbally defend myself, right? And that's what people grow up with, right? So if somebody is afraid about something, or if they're angry, and they lashed out and they said something, that was them defending themselves. Maybe it wasn't right, but there's reasons why it happened. We have to look at what it is, because it isn't the root. I mean, the what is it called? It isn't the symptom that we are needing to treat. It's why it's coming out. It's coming to the surface. So when twin souls come together, soulmates come together, we meet people that are meant to trigger us. That's why we're put into families. That's why our family is our greatest teacher. Because just because you're born into the same family doesn't mean that you're going to like the same things or even be friends. You're going to be triggered your whole life, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with those triggers. But some people, it's so bad that they're not able to work through it. They don't have parents that are willing to help them, or able to understand how to help them, because they don't even know how to help themselves. So then it's stuffed. Children are to be seen and not heard. Women's opinion is not wanted, right? So here I stand, right, very outspoken, come across very aggressive, and it sounds like I'm going to rip your head off. Oh my shit, I don't want to go near her. I can't tell her what happened. Look at her. Look what she'll do. She'll fillet me. I won't even be able to get a word out in my defense, and she'll just slice me and dice me. No, that's not the way it is. I am speaking this way because this needs to come out. The falcon keeps showing up. The falcon keeps showing up, and we saw him earlier with my landlord. The falcon says, look at the bigger picture rather than just what's in front of you. There's something else going on. Remember, there's something else going on. Things are not as they appear. You're thinking that this is what it is. No, that's not what it is. You're thinking no, it's not what it is. It's something different. And Spirit said to me, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think. Our mind gets us all freaked out, right? Misunderstandings. There's been a misunderstanding between you two. And you need to speak your truth. Somebody needs to speak their truth. Well, you're really this or that. I don't like the way you handled that. Remember I told you about the pictures that I sent to my twin. And what if his brother got those pictures? And he just got married, and his wife saw that and thought that there was something going on. I mean, how do you explain that? They're on my computer. But I sent them to my twin. Well, it's a family business. He's not there any longer, and now his mom or his dad or his brother is now working at that computer, and those pictures are on that computer. What are those pictures doing on that computer? Don't tell me that you don't have something going on with her. And what kind of a slut is she to be sending that to you? And that's supposed to be, and then what about my twin? Your girlfriend sent that to your brother. What? Boom. All a misunderstanding, right? So look at the bigger picture. The falcon says it's take time to develop a strategy to reach your next goal. Research and planning are the order of the day. So that goes back for me to what's going on in Sedona. My landlord, he says, okay, call me in 4 days. Angels, right? 4 angels around you. So it's today I'm supposed to call him. And I've been asking for the downstairs suite, and it's a pretty sweet deal, right? I work for him, I get the whole suite downstairs. And it's not just my own suite, it's the other side too, with the fireplace. It's amazing. It's amazing. 2 offices. I mean, it's like, wow. And he hasn't decided if he wants to do that or not. But I've got the house in Montezuma, and I won't look at it. And Spirit says, you're going to get exactly what you want, but it may not be what you think. Song right now. Hold on. There's something about that day I lost my mind. Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. Gnarls Barkley. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you guys could jump on this and take this song. I did, right? So if you look at the lyrics to Gnarls Barkley's Crazy, he speaks about drugs. Growing up, it looked like fun. Everyone else did it. I wanted to do it. So when I did it, I didn't expect to have happen what happened. Well, if a super sensitive takes that drug, they're gone. Doesn't affect a super sensitive the same way as it affects somebody else, right? There's that message. But then there's a symbolic spiritual message as well. I hope that you're having the time of your life, but think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now. Who do you think you are? That's that message. Come on now. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're going to do this or you're going to do that. Somebody putting you down, right? I think you're crazy. You're spiritual. You're connected. You're seeing things. You're trying to explain something. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're crazy, right? My heroes had the heart to lose their lives out on the limb. All I remember is thinking, I want to be like them. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun, and it's no coincidence that I've come. I can die when I'm done. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe we're crazy. Probably. What if it's somebody? What if that's somebody that decided my heroes died out on the limb? I'm going to go into the military. I'm going to go into and do this. I'm going to stand for the underdog. I'm going to be the one that goes out on the line. You think I'm crazy? Who do you think you are? You're nothing. What can you do to help anybody? A lot. What can I do to help anybody? A lot. We all have gifts. You're freaking crazy. Who do you think you are? And then what I liked about this in here, where's that one line? You can die when you're done. Here. I hope that you're having the time of your life, but think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now. Who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Do you really think you're in control? Nobody can control another person. When people try to control people, that's when the problems begin, right? My ex trying to control me, stopping me from leaving the house, it started physical abuse, right? In a relationship, one trying to control another. You can't control another person. Everyone has free will. That's the problem. Controlling somebody, saying, in our family, this is the way it's done. You're not allowed to date outside of this religion, Sherry. If you do, we will cut you off. If you see her, you will be disinherited. You will be disinherited or you will be excommunicated. And I did that. I ended up being one of the heroes that went out on the limb. And I said, I'm out. See you later. Cut me off, right? Who do you think you are? I'm me. I'm me, and I get to do what I want. I get to do what I believe, right? And then there's another one. Oh God, there's so many songs coming so fast. The song right now. There's one song in here that says, it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. And that's me. When I was getting all of these messages and I was remote viewing and having all these prophetic dreams, it wasn't that I was crazy. It's that I knew too much. You know too much. Get rid of her. She knows way too much. Get rid of her. I'm not crazy. I know exactly what I was seeing. I saw too much. And I tried to excuse it and push it away, but it doesn't take it away. It's like that person said to me, you need to be careful who you're talking to because I think you're dealing with dark energy, right? And then the owl standing in front of me, the owl, the seer, that shows you that how to see past half-truths and see through deception and through lies, right? And then the owl starts flying around my head. No, I'm not crazy. No, I'm not dealing with dark spirits. I saw truth. I'm a seer. The song right now, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just hanging out with my friends in this place, but I'd rather be at home on the couch with my real friends talking about saving the world. So I'll just be over here in the kitchen next to the girl who's gossiping about everybody, or maybe I'll go stand over by that guy who's throwing up in the toilet because he's drank too much. You know what, maybe forget this. Maybe I'll just be out in the car. What are you doing with those people? You're in that place because you're trying to fit in where you don't belong. You're that bottle brush plant that's dying and there's nothing blossoming on that plant because of who you are planted next to. It isn't that you have a problem. It's those are your triggers, and the triggers are causing the problem. Sometimes relationships aren't meant to be because they're a trigger to you. Well, why am I drawn there? Because it's a karmic lesson. It's a lesson. Why does this keep happening to me? Because you aren't getting it. And why do these cats keep coming and they're sick? Why does this keep happening to me? Because you're not listening. And so when I was trying to explain to my landlord how I figured it out, he kept going on about the medicinal stuff. And then a car got in front of him. And he goes, oh! He hates it when people slow him down, right? Car gets in front of him again. Oh! And I said, you know what? It's the same old man. It's going to be the same old man all the way home. Gets to our corner. He's going to go up our street. We're not going any faster. So relax, because you're going to give yourself a freaking heart attack. Message to me, message to everyone. You have to slow down. It's going to be this, it's not going to go as fast as you think, right? So just chill out. Also, the message was, what else in your life? Because what were we talking about? I was thinking about, what do I need to do about Willow, about her teeth? I need to figure out some type of a cat treat that can help with tartar on their teeth. And I said, well, what? So as I was going, I figured I had a plan that I was going to do. No, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. So it was like, slow down. You think you've got something. No, you don't have it yet because you need more information. You need to do more research. Slow down. Don't act yet. You don't have all the information in. Right? And I kept trying to explain that to him. And I said, you need to just slow down. You're getting a message. And he goes, I can't stand it when people get, and I said, I understand that. Yeah, but you know, why do they have to go? And I said, you're not hearing me. Yeah, but why does it have to keep happening today? And I said, because you're not hearing. You're not hearing it. That's why it keeps happening today. You need to slow down about something else. There's something else in your life, not this. You're being told to slow down about something. So Spirit comes to us again and again, and we don't hear again and again. And my landlord in Sedona, well, I keep telling you I've got this place in Montezuma, and I won't hear him. And he keeps talking about it. So when I was looking at the wormwood plant that was growing next to the bottle brush, and he said how the bottle brush was growing so well next door, but no flowers on it, and it's covered in blossoms here. And I said, that's because it's because of what it's planted next to. And then I thought about the wormwood. When I looked at that, it's going to stink, right? That's going to stink. Look at that. Yuck. But it didn't. It smelled sweet. It was beautiful. Why? Because it was about what it was next to. What about this place in Montezuma? I've never been there. I've never seen it. What if it's literally right next to the river? It has to do with what it's right next to. Okay, that's it. Those are all the messages that I can think of at this time. Oh, no, I actually have to go on about the falcon totem again because there's a couple more messages since we have seen it more than once. The best strategy relies upon an unlimited set of responses. Be flexible. Slow down. Be flexible. Wait. Does it have to be that house in Sedona? Maybe it's the other house, right? Go look at it. How do you know? Just just hear them out. That's the thing about when we have something in mind that it has to be this way. Spirit says, think about all the other ways that it could come to you. All the other ways that this could work out beautifully, right? So say there's somebody who lost all their money. This person, they're younger than you. You're older than them. You're more experienced. I'm not very experienced in the ways of the world. I came from a family with a lot of money, but if I choose to go in a spiritual direction, I'm going to be cut off from all that money. And now I'm in a difficult place. And I've said that an empress is not interviewing pages, right? I don't interview pages. An empress interviews the emperor. The emperor interviews only the empress. But I'm not talking about material world values because Archangel Metatron works with the ones that have a problem, right? Like me. I'm crazy. My daughter says I need to have psychiatric help. I'm in love with a phantom, right? Because she couldn't see him. She didn't believe he was real. You can't believe in God. You don't believe he's real. I know he is. You don't see the spirits that I can see. You don't see the angels standing there, but I do. You don't understand the messages coming from the animal messengers, but I do. It doesn't make me crazy. It makes me enlightened. It makes me gifted, right? Well, I can tell you that what the world would call an emperor isn't what I would call an emperor. Now, you would think, well, the emperor rules kingdoms, right? They rule over kings. They are extremely articulate. They are strategic. They are successful. They're wealthy, right? And what if you have somebody who is like Moses, who is not able to speak? Who spoke for Moses? His brother-in-law spoke for him. Ooh, message to me. Bam. Just got a message. Moses had his brother speak for him because he stuttered, right? My Aunt Joan, she stutters. And she's brilliant. But a lot of times it was difficult for her to get the words out. Doesn't mean she's stupid. It means she wasn't able to express herself. So if somebody has a difficult time expressing themselves, it doesn't mean they're an idiot. It doesn't mean they're incapable. It doesn't mean that you're smarter than them. Because you have the gift of gab. You know, you're like my ex-husband and I. He's extremely intelligent. very intelligent, very gifted, very hard worker. He's got a lot of very, very fine qualities. He was a young man when we were married. When that all went on, he was young. And he had an instant family, right? It was a lot of pressure. So there's all kinds of mitigating circumstances for why that happened. Now, because he had all the reasons for that, didn't take away from the fact that I was abused. I was. But he had his own issues, right? Doesn't mean he doesn't have fine qualities. We just weren't supposed to be together. So you can be in a relationship with somebody, you can be planted next to somebody, and what happens to you is it becomes toxic. You're nasty, you're vicious, you say rotten things because because you are oil and water, you don't mix. You aren't of the same energy. Now, if you take that same person and put that same person next to somebody else with the same energy, the same belief system, they got no problem. Why? Because they work together. They work well together. But what if you're in a family and the family forces you to be with that one? Because if not, if you don't stay within our religion, you're excommunicated or cut off from the family or disinherited. So you end up going with somebody, but they're not like you. They don't think the way you think. They look at you and they make fun of you and they talk down to you and they're abusive to you. And you're a man. And you've got this woman who makes you feel like you're a child, right? Well, he is a child. He's stupid. He's weird. I mean, look at him. Blah, blah. He can't even do this. That erodes your... And you grew up with that as well. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You can't do that. Right? And you start internalizing and believing all of this bullshit, which is not the truth. Because I've always told you, I'm very drawn to very shy people. I'm drawn to that energy. I see humility, and I find it sexy as hell. I'm not turned on by that hot guy that has all the posse of people around and everybody thinks that he's the man because he's got the gift of gab and he's got it going on. He's the wheeler dealer, right? And he brags 24/7. I don't see anything good looking about that at all. I don't see anything positive about that at all, right? I prefer the quiet one over there who doesn't want his picture taken, doesn't like himself in pictures, doesn't even realize he's the most beautiful thing on the planet, right? Because he's been told, who do you think you are, his whole life. He's been put down because his brother has been elevated his whole life. He's given blood, sweat, and tears to the family his whole life while his brother's taken. But the brother's the favorite. He's the pet because he's done what they wanted him to do. Whereas this one said, Elijah said, I'm not going to do that. And wicked Jezebel said, I want you gone. Right? Didn't like that because he wanted to stand out on the limb. He wanted to be different. He wanted to embrace himself. So... in general, the Falcon's telling you to be vigilant. There is an opportunity for immense change in your life at this time. It's going to require proper planning and strategy. It's asking you to use the tools that you have. And remember, often we get, I don't have anything. What do I have? I lost my job. I just freaking lost my job. The family fired me, or I'm walking away from that family. Now I don't have a job. Well, you don't have that job. But that doesn't mean you don't have it. You don't have that gift. And right when I looked up, that was a hummingbird. You will accomplish what you might feel is impossible to yourself as well as to others because, yes, you do have gifts, right? You have what you need. We all have what we need. Spirit says take advantage of that when that opportunity comes knocking, right? Stay focused for everything that's coming your way and be grateful for when it does. Let's see if there's another side message. Falcon people are independent people. And they have the need to be alone to be happy. Remember I told you the one that needs to go away? I need to go away. I need to just go out. My landlord in Sedona, he goes off into the bush. And that's where he finds his center, right? And maybe somebody's not going to have to go away from you all the time if you respect their need for quiet time. Respect their need for space, right? That's why I like that suite. It's not a studio. It's a whole bottom half of a house, and it's huge. Office in that side of the house, and an office in the complete other side, right? That's why two independent people are very successful people, and interdependency is so vital within relationships. I don't want somebody in my pocket. I don't want you all over me. You may have misunderstood that. You may have, in my excitement to get to know you and be around you and love you, you may have thought, oh my God, this person's all over me like white on rice, right? I can't handle this. I can't even fucking breathe. You're smothering me because I had a smothering mother or a smothering brother or a smothering father, right? But I'm actually not. I'm actually very independent, and I don't want you to smother me either. I don't want you in my back pocket. So folks with the falcon as a totem are very independent people, and they need their private space, right? They're determined to master what it is that they love. They're determined to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to deal with my cats, and I already have. I've got all that silver solution into all three of them, actually. I did it in different ways, 3 different ways. This one didn't like that. This one didn't like that. Well, each person is different too, right? It's not going to work the same for that one as it did for that one. Well, geez, I said that to another girl, and she thought that was a total turn on. She liked that. Well, I'm not that girl. And that insulted me. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Okay. Remember when Tony was so mad at me? I didn't even know he was mad at me. He was furious. And then he finally went, blah, and it came out. And I said, you're right. I agree. I apologize. Instantly, he's like, thank you. I forgive you. Thank you for that. And it was over because it just, whoosh, takes away the problem. It was gone. It was gone. And so then what we need to do is forgive ourselves and then let it go. But you can't be one of those ones that are going to be beating you up, right? Over and over and over and keep throwing the past in your face. So the falcon's telling you, just like the snail, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Stay focused on your goals. It also symbolizes personal freedom. And the fact, if you see that one flying, it's a signifying you that success is coming in your projects. What goes around comes around. Agility, flexibility, looking at things from a higher perspective. So again, I will speak about myself because I do know that I can hear what I sound like. Remember I told you, I heard myself and I was like, dang, I don't mess with you. No, not if you're gonna hurt someone I love. You'll hear it. I'll let you know. I have no problem standing up to you. I don't care if you're the freaking king. I have no problem standing up to you, right? But I'm doing that because I love that person. I love hard. And Aries, we love. We're loyal, right? I am, and not all Aries are. Not all of them are. Some of them are mean and aggressive and demanding and spoiled, rotten and selfish and unfaithful, right? But I'm not. So don't project onto me what is someone else's issue. And just because I'm mad at you doesn't mean I don't love you. And just because I'm mad at you and you've done something, and if you find out you're so freaking, goody two shoes, I'm not a goody two shoes. I'm not. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot, right? I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like lying. I don't like cheating. I don't accept that. I don't like 3-ways. Well, I did a 3-way. When you find that out, what's going to happen? When you find that out, you're never going to look at me the same again. How do you know that? Have you even talked to me? Have you even given me a chance? Have you explained anything to me? Nope. But you've got it all figured out, don't you? In your head. It goes all the way around. We do that all the time. We think that we know what someone else is feeling. You can't read my mind, and I can't read your mind. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you like unless you tell me. I don't know what you don't like unless you tell me, right? Correct for neutrality. Song right now, I love you just the way you are. How funny is that? And that's the truth, right? When you love somebody unconditionally, you love them just the way they are. And when they're authentically truthful about who they are and they don't fake who they are, they draw towards them people like them who understand them. And they love you whether you're broke or not. So there, my emperor. My emperor may come to me with no job. But he's a spiritual man and he is gifted and he loves me. And that man is my emperor. But I don't have a job. You'll get one. You'll get one. Especially with me as your co-pilot. Hell yeah. I'm not drawn to people that don't have something, right? You got it. You just don't have maybe what that person wanted. Correct for neutrality on all levels. We're at 1 hour and 13 minutes into this reading. 2 long readings. Remember when I used to do 2-hour readings all the time? Jeez. Okay. So what we're going to use is, I guess we'll just use what we got in front of us. Probiotics. Probiotics. This is going to, help things balance back out, get things back, you get your natural flora in your stomach working again properly, right? That's one. Silver solution. This is you speaking your truth. This is emotional expression, love, right? My Chia water. This is a detoxifier, right? Detoxify. Detoxify yourself by taking yourself out of that environment, right? Wow. Can I talk to you? I'm a little, I'm mortified though, because I've always had a job. I've always done really, really well. And now I don't even have a car. I don't have a job and I don't have a car. I don't have anything to offer you. Remember the fairy that had the little gnome that came to her and all he had to offer was that little flower? And it's interesting. I heard a reader and they were talking about that. And it was, I was like, wow. And the man said, he was the reader, and he said, this person is, well, he's just stupid. He's a few bricks shy of a load. And yeah, he's like a page. I mean, clearly you're way far advanced than this one. You've got your own business. This person doesn't even have a job. And he was, and I looked at him, and I thought, wow, how are you a spiritual person and you are reading that, but you don't understand maybe what you're looking at? Maybe that is the truth. Maybe that's a scrub. I don't want a scrub that's, lying on his mama's couch, doesn't want to do a lick of work, and is hanging out of his best friend's ride, hitting on her girl when he's got one at home. I don't want a scrub. But if somebody doesn't have a job, they lost their job, or they walked away from something because it was toxic and it's in their highest good, that's a different story. And just because you don't understand how they work doesn't mean they're stupid. And just because they don't articulate the way you do doesn't mean they're not intelligent and gifted, right? Be careful. Song right now, I can't even get to the reading. This is a do or die. This is a ride or die couple. You and I. Now, I'm going to give you the reading, and I'm going to give you these lyrics. There's some things in here, obviously. I mean, I'm taking parts of it, right? Not all of it. So, you and I figured it out. I figured it out from black and white, seconds and hours. Maybe they had to take some time. I know how it goes. Wait, is this the right one? You and I, the crazy kind. I need to get these lyrics. In the end, it's you and I. You and I. She would never cheat. She would never steal. Cross my heart, hope to die. To my lover, I'd never lie. Cross my heart, hope to die. To my lover, I'd never lie. Okay, lyrics. Him and I. This is to my twin. Cross my heart, hope to die. To my lover, I'd never lie. He said, be true, I swear I'll try. In the end, it's him and I. He's out of his head, I'm out of my mind, according to the world, right? We got that love, that crazy kind. I'm his and he is mine. In the end, it's him and I. They don't want to see us make it. They just want us to want to divide. Bonnie and Clyde wouldn't see the point of living if one of us died. Got that kind of style everybody try to rip off, right? Crazy, but I love her. I could never run from her. Swear we drive each other mad. She's so stubborn. Intense, this shit. It gets done. She knows when I'm out of it, like she could just sense it. If I had $1 million or was down to 10 cents, she'd be down for whatever. Never gotta convince, right? Cross my heart, hope to die. I love you, baby. Remember this. That's my soldier. She keep that thing. If anyone goes there, calm and collected, she keeps her composure. She gonna ride for me until this thing is over. Now, unfortunately, in this song, it was about doing drugs together, right? We're going to do drugs together. I'll go down with you, hope to die. In the end, it's him and I. Cross my heart, hope to die. But for me and myself and I, that's my energy. And that's worth more than $1 million to me. Somebody that's loyal and has your back and is a ride or die, right? Correct for neutrality. For those who chose the Theralac. For those who chose the Theralac. Strangely lonely, holding on way too tight. What are you holding on too tight to? You're holding on to that cross. You're holding on to an old belief system, an outmoded way of thinking. The way you think that things are supposed to be. I knew this would all come together with what I had to say, right? Spirit's been bringing this to me actually for days and days and days, and actually it's longer than that, months, and I kept wondering why the readings kept coming like this over and over. What do you think? This is your job. You need to talk about this. I'm trying to get you to talk about this. So strangely lonely. Somebody is very, very, very lonely. They're holding on to what they believe, what this should be, what it was, what's expected of me. And when I'm seeing that as a cross, it's religion is what I'm getting. The way I was raised, I'm holding on to that. It makes me lonely. The numbers 1 and 7. 1. Keep your thoughts positive, right? What are you thinking? Do you like what you're thinking? Do you like what you're creating with what you're thinking? 7, if you stay on your spiritually illuminated path, it will exceed your expectations. Well, then uplift your thinking. Think what you want to see happen. Think the best. And start creating that in your future, right? You're holding on to something and it's making you very lonely. Has something happened in the past? Has someone passed away in your life? There's another message. What if you were with somebody and that person died and the family believes that you should remain devout? But you right away you went out and you met somebody else. How could you do that? How could you go there? Because we're connected. But it's wrong. It's wrong. It's like kids saying that their parents can't move on and marry someone else, right? I need to stay loyal. I need to mourn this, right? I need to hold on to this. But you're holding on too tight to something, and that's another message. Everybody needs to breathe. I need space. I need to go. I need to go. I need to get my head together, right? It had nothing to do with you. This was me. It's that song, Big Girls Don't Cry, you know? We'll meet in our dreams. And you'll be my best friend and I'll be yours, but I gotta go, I gotta do some fixing, you know, between me, myself and I gotta figure shit out, you know? You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Remember that song? I've been hoping somebody would love you the way way that I couldn't. I was hoping that I would hurt you more than you would hurt me, so you would just let me go. Stop loving me. Because it was hurting them. They didn't know, it wasn't working for them, right? They just wanted to go. Let them go. Let go. What you let go, if it's meant to be yours, it'll come back around. You don't have to chase it. Please don't chase me. You know, let me breathe. You're holding on too tight to me. You're smothering me. You're a smothering mother. Please stop smothering me. I need to make my own choices. I want my own life. Please stop smothering me, right? It could be a family member. Holding on so tight. I've got a little brother that's just like, oh, I can't even breathe. He's on me. I can't even have a life of my own because he's so afraid that he's going to lose his best friend that he kills every relationship that becomes near me. He lies and manipulates and causes blockages because he doesn't want to lose me or she or whatever the situation is. A best friend, right? I don't want my best friend to get married because then I'll lose him or her. And so I stand between them. I manipulate things because I don't want to be left out in the cold. I've had that happen before. I know what's going to happen. I had a best friend, and then they got into a relationship, and then I was kicked to the curb, right? Holding on too tight. You might be in a group full of people. You might have people all around you, and you're lonely as hell. Why? What is it that you're holding on to? Are you trying to put a barrier between you and someone else? Are you pushing somebody away to protect yourself? You're holding on too tight to something. You're shielding yourself from something, right? Because Spirit says you're holding on so tightly to something, either a belief, an anger, a misunderstanding, something that happened in the past that never was expressed and so it was never dealt with, or a jealousy. That bothers me. I don't like that, okay? It needs to come out. We need to discuss it. I can't take it back. But it needs to come out. right? You need to open up a little bit. You're feeling alone because you've put up a barrier against others, right? You want people like you around you. You want metaphysical information. You want to discuss. You want to sit on the couch and talk about saving the world. I don't want to talk about the latest gossip and the clothes I don't want to talk about that. Why are you holding on then? You're holding on to that group of friends. I don't want to lose that friends because I've known them forever. If I lose them, I won't have anyone. And I'm totally alone. But they're not really your friends, are they? They're frenemies. They're not like you. What's going on at this time? Whatever it is that you're holding on to is not working for you, right? So Spirit says, let go just a little bit. Let go of the control of yourself. Maybe you're holding your control. I'm going to control myself. I'm not going to let anyone see how I feel. I'm holding my heart close. I'm holding my heart too close. I'm very lonely, but I'm not letting anyone near me because I've been fucked over too many times. So I'm holding too tightly. So just let go a little bit. Allow yourself to interact. But Spirit says at this time, there is one person, at least one person in your life that needs to be shown the door, and there's one person that needs to be allowed in. That's your message. For those who chose the silver solution, correct for neutrality, song right now, I need you now, don't let me down. Remember that meme about the person that is holding up the rainbow? I mean the rainbow, that's cool. Rainbow, promise of good things after a storm. It's holding up the umbrella. It's pouring rain, but they've had a fight. They're mad, they're not speaking to each other, but he's holding the umbrella up because he doesn't want her to get wet. He loves her. Sometimes people are not speaking to each other, they're mad at each other, but it doesn't mean they don't love each other, right? So you need to express this, talk to each other. And just because like I said, okay, I'm not coming to you, of all people. I mean, you're already mad at me because I did that to you, and I did that to you, and it was not cool, and I know that, and now I'm in a really bad place, and I don't have anywhere to go, but you're the last person on earth I can go to because you already freaking hate me. That's if that person loves you, know the truth. You actually know the truth. It's also, I ran away from home. I told my family off. I did this. I said that. I did all kinds of stuff, and I'm flat ass broke, and I have nowhere to go. Hell will freeze over before I go back and ask them for help. Why? Is it because they were abusive, or was it because you're ashamed of your behavior? Because that doesn't mean they don't love you. They may have been disappointed in what you did, but remember in my dream when that one went to the father and he fell before the father and thought he was going to get yelled at, and the father said, don't you understand? All I ever wanted was for you to be happy. Maybe I didn't understand it. Well, why didn't I understand it? Because you didn't express it to me. Well, I was afraid to tell you. Why? Well, because mom said this. Well, I'm not mom, right? Or somebody else, I don't know. I was afraid to tell you. Well, you can't hold me responsible for what I don't know, right? And that might be the situation. Because when he did come back to his father, that's what his father said. His father wrapped his arms around him and hugged him and said, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. Consider that. That works not just for parents, but also for lovers and friends. Correct for neutrality. Of all the people, and if I had no idea, Tony was furious at me. I had no idea. Bam, right? Correct for neutrality on all levels. I actually didn't care at the moment because I was trying to push him away. For those who chose the silver solution, and I did. Guest of honor. Guest of honor. Song right now, even if you hurt me. I won't ever let you down. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. Words, it's only words. Even if you hurt me, I love you. That's what the song is. So guest of honor, you've wanted something. You've been feeling like you've been out on the edge. You've been on an island. We've gotten this message again and again. This is basically the message about, I didn't belong. I didn't fit in. I took off. Remember Elijah took off and he went out into the desert. And at first he just wanted to die. And then he ascended. He ascended. He literally was resurrected into spirit. However, somebody has had a rebirth. Somebody was not welcomed in. Somebody did not feel included. Somebody felt ostracized. Somebody was always on the outside edge and was never accepted and felt that way. And then they thought, okay, fine. You know, I'll go out there and I'll it made you stronger. It made you fight. Thanks for making me a fighter, right? You made me fight. You made me do this. You pushing me away, you slamming the door in my face made me have to focus on me. I didn't have you to help me. I didn't have you to love me. I had to get strong by myself, and I did, right? I went out there and I did it by myself, and now I'm strong. And now Spirit says, you've been out there long enough. Come on. You remember the barrier? You're protecting yourself. So maybe you as well, right? Keeping people at an arm's length. And Spirit says, you've been out in the fray all on your own long enough, lone wolf. We want you to come back in, because that message that she's crazy, but she's psycho. She's pretty, but she's psycho. She's a little bit psycho playing right now. The guest of honor. You're going to be the guest of honor, basically. What you wanted before now wants you. Okay? You don't have to beg, borrow, and steal. You went out there and you realized, I don't really need you. I can do it all on my own, but that's okay. Now they want you. And Spirit's telling you, they're not, and maybe the natural reaction would be, fuck you. I don't want you. I don't need you. I don't need you. You didn't want me then. I don't want anything to do with you now. But Spirit says, we want you to accept this. Something is being offered to you, and we want you to accept it, right? You're invited to the inner circle, to the inner crowd, to whatever this is that you wanted really, really bad. They want to shift. Everything's shifting. There's a lot of shifts happening at this time. So you're going to sail right in, and you're going to feel very comfortable in any environment, and you're being asked to go into this environment. It's not that you need their approval. It used to be that you probably wanted to seek their approval, but no more. You got stronger. You stood on your own. You realized, I don't need their approval. I'm good. I'm good now. And now they're looking at you. It's kind of like they used to say, who do you think you are? Right? Remember, I was lightning before the thunder. Who do you think you are? You're always riding in the back seat, right? You're, and now who is he? He went out there and he made himself. He made a name for himself. He did it on his own. He became strong, and now he's on the top. And now he's on the stage, right? Well, everyone they're out there in the nosebeats clapping. What about me? She's crazy. She's a little bit psycho, right? She's a nut. That girl's a nut. And I have my own business. I am on stage, and I've got those people coming to me, and now they want me back in their life, right? But it's not that, what is it? Success is the best revenge? Because you don't really want revenge, right? It's good for you. And they now see you, though. You're shining, whatever it is. That guy's up on stage while everyone else is clapping for them, but they're clapping for them. That's what I like. They're clapping for them. Yay! It doesn't mean that necessarily because now you're successful, everyone's going to be jealous and hate you, right? Wow, you're not who I thought. Wow, you're stronger than I thought you were. Good for you. Yay! Yay! Right? It could be that. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. The point is you're being invited in. You're the guest of honor. Something that means something to you. Something that means a lot in your heart. Something that maybe to another it may not be anything, but to you it is. And you're going to be this guest. And Spirit wants you to accept it because you are the chosen one. You now have the golden chalice. It's been given to you. Great message. It could be anything. Job, relationship. It could be, like I said, huge to somebody else. It could be my landlord saying, I want you to have that suite. Death shall not take him. How many times do we get that message? It just depends. Like I said, an emperor to one person is a different to me, right? I've never been about money. Doesn't mean I don't like nice things, and it doesn't mean that it's not helpful because I need it and I want it and I'm going to have it. But it doesn't mean that you need to provide me with it, right? Correct for neutrality on all levels. There is no ego in spirit. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the detox, I didn't tell you what I was doing. I literally was doing drugs. And I went to rehab, and blah, blah, blah. And now you're going to look down at me. No, you're looking down at yourself. You went to rehab. You handled it, right? You're working on it. You're doing what you're supposed to do. People make too many assumptions about what other people are going to think and other people are going to say. And I keep thinking about Mr. Blurryface. It matters to me what you think of me. And you put me up on this pedestal. You told everybody, I'm so freaking gifted and I'm so amazing and I'm this and I'm that, and I don't see myself that way. Well, remember that song? I've been reading books of old, legends of Achilles and his gold, right? Batman and his gifts, and Superman unfurls a cape when he lifts. I don't see myself upon that list. And what did she say? Fuck off, get out of here then, I don't want you. She said, I don't want somebody with some superhuman gifts. I want somebody just like this. Somebody to hold, somebody to hug me. I want you, right? For those who chose the Chia water, the Juggler, as soon as I see this, I see the 3, and that means, again, to me, the Ascended Masters, also full circle completion. Well, we already know Archangel Metatron, for one, is working with us, right? Ascended Master is working with you. It also shows me that someone in my family is working with me, my mother, I know for a fact. So, ascended from this planet, right? It also means something else to me. I told you when I saw the bottle brush tree and I saw the Ascended Master, I thought of my twin. You don't have to die in order to be resurrected. You don't have to die in order to be reborn. You don't have to leave this planet. An Ascended Master is working with you. It can be somebody close to you, right? Somebody that's a master at their craft. A master. It was a joke between my twin and I. Master Jake, right? It was funny. So an Ascended Master is working with you. He's juggling rainbow balls. That may mean something to someone else. Why are you wasting all your time? You're exhausted juggling those rainbow balls. What's going on? He's exhausted. That's the point. You're exhausted. You're doing too much. You're juggling. So this is about prioritizing. This is about delegating authority. You don't have to do it all. Let your friends help you. Let the Ascended Masters help you. Ask Spirit for help. Father, I need a miracle. Father, I need help. Father, I need a job. Father, please arrange this so that I get the perfect place. If I'm not meant to be there, and if I get that, and that's going to conflict or cause a problem with something else, don't let that happen. You know what my heart wants. I need to have a steady career. I need to have a nice, comfortable income so I don't have to worry about bills, right? I want to be in a place where I feel free. I want to be in a place where I'm close to nature, where the energy around me is not toxic, where there's people like me, right? Where I'm at peace. Make that happen. I don't care how you do it. Figure it out. I need friends. I'm lonely. Bring me a soulmate, right? Let that person hear what I need to say. Let them understand it the way it needs to be understood. Remove the blockage. Whatever it is, ask for help. And then let it go. And let them have some time to organize things. Sometimes it takes a little while, right? Spirits, I heard somebody yesterday, it was really good, talking about, why am I waiting so long? Oh my God, I'm growing old doing this. And you think to yourself, okay, well, I'm doing this, right? I gotta turn this up, lid, and then I take a drink. It's in my throat. I put the lemon, I put the chia seeds, I put the apple cider vinegar, mix it up, and I have it. But Spirit is getting, that person needs to leave that job. That person needs to leave that house that they're in, and they need to reorganize things so that that person also gets to go somewhere else. I'm not going to kick that person out in the street so you get that sweet. I'm not going to fire that person right now from the job if they don't have somewhere else to go. That's why when Spirit says, when one door closes, another door opens, it's truthful, right? I lost my job. Well, that job wasn't supposed to be for you. There's something else lined up for you. Trust that. It's happening. Spirit is organizing things. It takes a little time for them to organize it so that person can exit that place, get that job, so that you can move into that place and that position, and everybody gets something. There's other people involved than just you, right? Remember I went into that suite and I said, I want this back. I took it back. I put my energy in it and I said, I want it. Get her out of here. I want it. And my landlord, and I made it happen. Well, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. What about her? She was living in there, right? So then I said, ooh, I realized what I did. Okay, if she needs to be in there, let her have that place and arrange something else so maybe she can go to somewhere else if in all intents and purposes it's best for me to eventually be there, right? So, okay, we got to shuffle things around. And so when I did that, my landlord called back and said, you know, I thought about this. And so he wasn't going to kick her out. But I manifested that. We have to be careful, right? But Spirit is doing that. They're arranging things. It doesn't just happen just like that. We got to give them 5 minutes. Sometimes it has to happen just like that, and they know that too. Spirit is also saying that there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, and you may feel, look, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I can handle this. You're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be able to handle what you need to handle. And what you don't need to handle, someone else will take care of. That's why you have to prioritize and decide, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do today? I need to get this done today. I didn't work today. I mean, I worked with my landlord for hours. We went and did all these calls, and I dealt with all these things, and then I've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes with you guys, right? So I haven't brought in a dime. But this was other things that I needed to do. It'll come in a different way. I'm not worried about it, right? It's what needed to happen now. I didn't know, I thought maybe this morning it was supposed to be done, and then all of this happened that took precedence, and I was everywhere. So with my landlord, oh, come on, hurry. No, there's a reason we're being delayed. Maybe this video is going to be finished and then uploaded and then edited, and then it will hit out exactly when the right person needs to hear it at that time. If it went out earlier, they wouldn't have been paying attention. They wouldn't have been looking. That wouldn't have happened yet. Maybe something hasn't happened yet in order for this to be heard. Got it? So, you can relax, right? Focus on what's in front of you. You can only do today what you can get done today, right? You're going to be able to handle this without falling on your face, is what Spirit says, even if you feel that you can't, right? And if you are overwhelmed, it's probably because you're trying to do too much. That's what happened to me. Remember, I dropped everything all over the ground, because I was rushing. You don't have to rush. Relax. You're overwhelmed. And so you're dropping the ball, dropping one of those balls, right? You don't want to have that happen. So if you are in this position, bring yourself back to center, calm yourself down, allow tomorrow to come and recognize, today I'll get this done. Spirit, what's the most important thing I need to do right now? That? Okay. And then they'll tell you. Okay. The next message coming from, for the ones who chose, so we did 1, 2, 3. This is the last one. And we're going to do the gel, the wound gel, the wound gel. Somebody has a wound. This gel is it doesn't hurt, doesn't sting. This is a very gentle and extremely powerful. So you can be extremely powerful and be very gentle, right? You don't have to be aggressive, loud. I talked about, I posted this morning, I saw something and I loved it. I got up really early this morning and started working in underneath my blanket for it with Siam on my chest. It was so cool. And Willow on my hip. And I was posting things that mattered to me. And the message was this beautiful forest walkway going, stairs leading up into a forest. It's so beautiful. Look at it. It looks like a rainforest. Freaking love it. Never assume that loud is strong and quiet is weak, right? Silence is the loudest language that we can speak. Oh, wow. I rhymed. Remember what that means. Never assume that loud is strong and quiet is weak. Silence is the loudest language that we can speak. So when I rhyme, it's extremely important and it's divinely guided. And if somebody is mistreating you or disrespecting you, and you are arguing and fighting with them, you're just going to keep going back and forth, right? You stop speaking. Stop. Your silence speaks volumes, right? Volumes. It's the loudest. It's deafening. The silence is deafening, and it can send a message, and it can be extremely painful, right? The sound of silence. Song. My favorite is by Disturbed. Think about that. You're disturbed. You're quiet, but you're disturbed. Sound of silence. Just because I'm not screaming at you doesn't mean I'm not hurting, right? The sound of silence. People, hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain, never underestimate the power of planting a seed, right? Still remains within the sounds of silence. In restless dreams, I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hence my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like the silent raindrops fall and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning. Signs are all around you. That's what this message said. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said, the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls and whispered in the sounds of silence. So the words of prophets written on the subway walls. Spirit is trying to speak to us all the time. Why aren't we speaking? Why aren't we hearing what's being said? Why aren't we expressing our truth? Right? This is huge. All about speaking your truth and expressing yourself and being allowed to. Freedom of speech. Being who you are. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the wound gel. I guess I did. I just heard. Ooh. Sea Beacon Fairy. This is interesting. Guidance, but where will it lead you? So, when I first got this message in this deck when it was new, I thought it was a ripoff. Because you see this fairy and she's holding a light, right? She's like a tower. What are they called? A lighthouse. And you see the ship coming in from out here, and there's rocks that she's standing by. Now, look what she's doing. See the light? She's guiding them to come right here, and there's a light right here. She's saying, so she's over here where she's standing on the rock, and she's holding this out on her wing, her dark wing, and she's got this light. So they're going to come thinking, well, she couldn't be standing there in the middle of the water. Obviously, that's clear. But she's standing on the rocks. She's making it look as though it's a safe place to go. This is about, somebody may give you information about what's good for you, right? This is what you should do. And you're getting guidance, but where's the guidance coming from? Remember that man who said to me, you need to be careful about who you're listening to because you could be listening to dark energy. No, what did I tell you? My prophetic dreams or the messages that come, but when the animal messengers come, I trust them more than humans, more than anyone, because they come straight from spirit. So no, I'm not working with dark energy, but somebody is giving someone else guidance. The number again, 3, seems to be the same number that we keep seeing, right? Full circle completion. What goes around comes around. It's also the sacred goddess number, extreme powerful energy for women. Again, the Ascended Masters are working with you. Clearly, the Ascended Masters are not going to lead you to the rocks where you perish, but this one, she may lead you where you're supposed to go, or it may lead you to the rocks. But you have a choice to make. Okay, that sucks. And that's what I was saying, right? Okay, if I take this place out there, is that going to mess up everything else? If I don't take it, what am I supposed to do? Guidance. What is the guidance? What is best? Should you wait out this one and pass this one up? Don't be so quick to jump at the first opportunity that comes along. Are you so eager to avoid this storm that you will follow the first light that comes along? So I don't want to deal with that. It was easier for me to lie to you because I just didn't want to have to explain it all. I wanted to avoid that. I want to avoid the storm. I lost my job, right? But they've offered you something different, or I can stay. It's not good for me to stay there. I know that, and I quit. But now they're coming back and they're saying, okay, you can have your job back here. And you don't have a job. But you already know there's a reason why this happened, right? There's a reason why you chose to leave or why they fired you. It's not where you're meant to be. It's toxic energy for you. But you don't want to deal with the storm. I don't want to go out into the storm. I don't want to, man, I had a dream about that. I saw 2 people on a horse riding, each on a horse in the back field. Both of them exes, actually people that I one was an ex, one was someone I liked. And the father comes through the house and says, where's my daughter? And the one that was the friend, the one that I knew, that I never got together with, says, well, she said she was coming, but she didn't come. And he expected her to keep coming, right? And the father said, you were supposed to care for her. And now she's gone out into the storm. She's got out into the storm because you didn't care for her. So why did that come up right now? What's going on here? Someone's holding up a light for someone else, leading them in the direction, telling them that this is your salvation. This is going to help you, right? Maybe, is there somebody, I've already been shown that there's somebody that, actually in my own life, between my spiritual twin and I, there is one that is blocking and causing, and right as I said that, a crow flew by. So the crow that's building the house across from me, one that is blocking and causing problems, and one that is helping. So one is a helper and one is working against you. How do you know which is which? Right? Don't say sorry. Everyone's watching. I don't want to be with anybody without, I don't want to be with anyone if it's not your body next to me, close to me. If it wasn't you, I wouldn't want anybody next to me, right? He feels the same way, but his friend is saying, don't say sorry, everybody's watching. That friend is saying, dude, don't tell her how don't tell her. You put this facade on, show her this, right? But you know. So how do you know? Your heart knows. Your heart knows what's in your highest good. I already know. I've had exes coming back, right? And we already know we've got one offer that's coming that we are not to accept. Here we are again, right? And then we had the guest of honor, the one that we are meant to accept, right? So what does it boil down to? It boils down to, what is your heart telling you? Not what they are telling you. What is your heart telling you? Because somebody wants to lead you to perish, right? Somebody wants to lead you to the rocks. Now, it could be that a perfect solution is presented to you over whatever, some problem that you have, right? But is it wise that I take that? Well, what are the reasons? Are there more resources or opportunities available to you that you're not thinking about right now? Are you in a panic? Remember, slow down. Think things through. Don't jump at the first opportunity. This is what Spirit says. Now, I find it interesting because the Falcon says you have to be flexible. There's an opportunity for change. Very big change in your life is arising, right? But we want you to be flexible. You might have thought you were going in that direction, but you might be going in this direction. So you need to look at the big picture, not just about what's going on right now, because it isn't just about you right now. Spirit is rearranging things. Remember I told you before, I said, I want the suite, the whole place. And then I panicked because I was leaving Sedona and I hadn't heard from him, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to get it. So then I said to Spirit, I would be fine with just a studio that I could just fit my cats and I in. And so I got that instantly. I manifested it because I didn't have faith enough to wait and trust Spirit. Well, I'm leaving Sedona. I won't have a chance now. I won't be seeing anything else. I won't be I won't be talking to anyone else. Spirit knew what I needed. They knew what I needed. And after I accepted that little studio that didn't work out, and I'm not getting it, now I got to go pick up my stuff from there. I'm driving home, and I get a call from the one that I wanted. But I didn't trust that Spirit knew what they were doing. So you may think, I need to jump on this. I have no other choice. Yes, you do. Spirit says, yes, you do. My battery's dying. My battery's dying. Okay, yes, you do have a choice. Your battery's dying where you are. You're not able to charge where you're at. You're being drained energetically where you're at, right? You're not going to go there. You need to think about what is in your highest good. Check your inner wisdom as well as your outer sources. It's not just one way. There's a lot of paths and there's a lot of solutions, not just the one that you might see in front of you. And not all the advice that you get from other people is right for you. Well, that's right. That's good for you. But that's not what matters to me. Okay, well, this guy, what came up literally was the song, Two Princes, right? And this is what I got going, right? Two princes. Two princes kneel before you. This could be two jobs, okay? This could be two relationships. This could be there are two opportunities. Okay, two princes. Come on. One, two princes kneel before you. That's what I said now. Princes who adore you. Just go ahead. One has diamonds in his pockets. That's some bread now. This one says he wants to buy you rockets. He ain't in his right head right now. This one's got a princely racket. That's what I said now. Got some big seal upon his jacket. Ain't in his head right now. You marry him, your father will condone you. How about that now? You marry me and your father will disown you. Think about that. Think about that in the reverse. It was a female. You marry her, you're disowned. You marry this one that we approve of, I'll condone it, right? Marry him, marry her. Marry him, marry me. I'm the one that loved you, baby. Can't you see? But I know what a prince in love. I ain't got no family tree. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't look like the emperor like that one does, right? They've got that whole family that loves you. That whole family, everyone's there. I don't have anyone. I've been disowned because I'm choosing you, because I love you, right? I ain't got no family tree or a future because I just lost my job. They fired me and kicked me out of the family because I chose you. But I know what a prince and lover ought to be. I know what a prince and lover ought to be. If you want to call me baby, just go ahead now. And if you'd like to tell me maybe, just go ahead now. If you want to buy me flowers, just go ahead now. If you'd like to talk for hours, just go ahead now. Remember the fairy princess who had the little gnome that came and just had a flower? If you want to talk for hours, go ahead now. You want to buy me flowers? Go ahead now. I'm not looking at that seal. I'm not looking at that family tree. I'm looking at someone who loves me, right? Marry him, marry me. I'm the one that loved you, baby, can't you see? Ain't got no future or family tree, but I know what a prince and lover ought to be. I'll ask you, what makes you happy? If you want to talk for hours, buy me flowers, go ahead. Your Majesty, go ahead. Come and forget the king. Marry me. Go ahead now, come on. I just got a really loud message. I mean, I always made my choice, right? But a Leo is a king, right? Go, forget the king and marry me. The one without the family tree. Good message. Guidance. Where will it lead you? Song right now. I knew from the first time. I like me better when I'm with you. I like me better when I'm with you. I knew for the first time. I stayed for a long time. I like me better when I'm with you. They don't agree. They said, don't say sorry. Everyone's watching. Why would you humiliate yourself, right? Who are you listening to? Listen to your heart. Your heart knows what it's talking about. All right, you guys, we're out almost 2 hours. I love you. Bye.